So I love computers, big fan of computers, in case it hasn't been made very clear by this channel. So when a friend offered me a computer that wasn't working, that if I didn't take, it was going to go to e-waste, it was pretty clear I was going to take it. It's by no means a strong computer, in fact it's very weak, but you know what, I think every computer has a use somewhere. So I'm going to try and fix it up in this video, get it working, test it out, and hopefully give it back to the friend in a working condition so they can get it back into use. Let's see how it goes. And then with that, this is the machine. It's by eMachines. This is a 2011 PC with Windows 7 on it originally. It's got an AMD processor and is the eMachines Acer EL1352. It's got an AMD Athlon processor, which I believe has one core in it, integrated graphics, DDR3, a 32GB hard drive, which isn't in here anymore. I've already retrieved the hard drive out for data recovery. According to this poster here, it's a powerful machine, a powerful sleek PC for 2011. Which even for 2011, I just don't think is true. But this is the machine. It's definitely an old one, but let's open her up and see what she's got. Here, we have the innards of our machine. This light-on power supply. What is, I think, an MATX or ITX motherboard, but I don't know if it's actually using proper formatting or if it's... I don't think you could put another motherboard in here. SATA DVD drive. We've got PCI expansion cards here, so we can drop a graphics card into that. RAM slot in there with 2 gigs. Our CPU fan here with our CPU underneath. This is what we're working with. This is what we're trying to fix. Let's plug it into power and a monitor and see if we get anything from it. All I've been told is that it's broken. Okay, we've got the machine down here. If we hit the power button, our fan does spin to life, actually, which is a good sign. It doesn't have a hard drive in at the moment, so I don't expect the Windows. Ooh, green flashing light at the front. At least it's not power supply issue. That's a good sign. But we're also not getting anything on our monitor here. So we're getting into post. It's definitely powering on, but it's pumping out no visuals. So let's try a few things. Let's take off this front cover here. Take out this big bulky DVD drive that's in there, because it's got like a cage around it. Big DVD drive case is out. And we've got our 2 gig stick of memory here, which is definitely DDR3. It does say GDDR3, which is odd. Not a lot. This machine, quite bluntly, isn't worth a lot. But just 4 gigs of G.Skill DDR3 memory, we should at least be able to get it to Windows 10. I don't think these heatsinks should be a clearance issue either, hopefully. Now, while I'm in here, there is one change I'd like to make. I want to try and give it a dedicated graphics card, this Radeon card that I've got lying around. But it's a nice card and will definitely be an improvement to the integrated graphics. And it's low profile as well. Finally got that darn bracket off. That one was really resilient for some reason. So that's the new graphics card in. Also, upon testing, that RAM is going to have a clearance issue with the heatsink, sadly. Just for the time being, to see if we can get it to post, let's chuck this RAM in the other slot. This is back to the original RAM, but I do want to get this running with Windows 10, and if we do that, but we've tinkered with the RAM, as well as we've got a graphics card so we can avoid the VGA. Let's do a quick test run again. We haven't done a lot, but it's worth a shot. Okay, I've got a thing attached to the graphics card instead of the VGA port. Reseated a few things. Let's hit the power button and see if we have any luck. Oh, that's solid green. That's a bit... Oh my god, it's running. Huh, all it took was some reseating and whatnot. Something that was going to go to e-waste, and we've already pretty much got it working. Now I've just got to upgrade it a little bit, get it Windows 10 worthy, and we're good to go. Really, all we've got to replace, per se, is this RAM. So the very first thing I want to try doing is I've got some spare ECC memory, but the others are non-ECC. So I want to try chucking that in and see how that goes. And if that goes well, we've got a RAM upgrade. But I don't think it's ECC RAM compatible. So let's just give it a crack there. Ha! And again, worth a crack. We've got 8 gigs of DDR3, a new graphics card, the CPU there, which is still weak. Sadly, I don't have an upgrade for that at the moment. I could probably get one further down the line, but it would be hard to find anything worth the money, unless once again it's a salvage one. Now, admittedly, I'm going to switch this to 4 gigs 1 DIMM instead, because, well, again, it's just not worth it. This machine basically just has to be able to browse the web, and that's all it's really got to be capable of. We've got a working machine, so let's just tidy it up and get it ready. Now, admittedly, storage-wise, we're going backwards. This is only an 80 gig hard drive, but that's just kind of this project. I've just been using the parts I've got lying around that I'm not really using, and this is still 7,200 RPM. So, admittedly, downgrading hard drive, but I don't have the original one anymore. Okay, so everything is now screwed back in. I've also got the hard drive down the bottom. This drive's back in. Everything should now be working. So let's chuck it onto a monitor again, plug it in, see it work, and let's maybe do some benchmarking. And here we have it. We're loading into Windows. Let's hope she works. Okay, so it's taken a while to load, but I think that's just because it's got a really slow CPU down there. I'll tell you this now already with how it's tracking. It's going to be more than a few minutes. Just doing the Windows setup took so long. Okay, we finally got Windows 10 installed. It took long enough. CPU is the AMD Athlon 160U. So single-threaded, one-core, 1.8 gigahertz, 4 gigs of DDR3, 80 gig hard drive, and it's still looking for drivers for the graphics card. Drivers it will find eventually, but I'm gonna let it sit, download some drivers and stuff, which might take a fair while. Definitely a slow machine. It'll have its uses. I can see it having uses, like just a basic internet scroller. But it's slow. Might even be better with something like Linux. Okay, so I've gone and downloaded a few apps overnight, including 3D Mark to do a benchmark. But we've got Night Raid here. Okay, it's been 15 minutes and it's still loading. After 20 minutes, it is playing. It is playing slowly, but it is playing. On Night Raid, the graphics score is 4076, which is pretty good. CPU score is 0. It flunked hard. But, well, let's try some games. Okay, playing an old game on Steam like Doom is somehow completely fine. Even with just one core and one thread, Doom is running at a good 60 FPS. Next, we've got a game like Half-Life 2. Now, that's one thing about this machine. All of the loading times take forever. Between the slow CPU, slow RAM, and it's on a hard drive, almost everything's going to take a while. This computer is actually running Half-Life 2 pretty damn well. At like 40 FPS, which once again with one core, one thread is pretty impressive. Even for an older game like this one. And it's not a fast core either, that's the worst bit. And then a pretty basic game like Portal 2 is getting around 50 to 60 FPS. Oh, I have fallen in the water. It took about 3 years to load, but when it did, it's running not amazingly, but pretty well. And so even though this only has one core, one thread, I am surprised at how well this is running. Overall, this computer is actually, for basic games, half decent. But pretty much anything more advanced than that, it will struggle, quite bluntly. Like, you couldn't really run Minecraft on this thing, it would just tank. This is ideally a really good thing for just like a basic web browser for someone who just needs access to the internet, basically. For just a little bit more money, there's some better options, but it's not a bad one either. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video of me restoring this little machine. It was a lot of fun, and well, I got it up and running so I can return it to my friend. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, as I'm a small tech creator and help out a ton. Also, if you're interested in any of my other videos, make sure you click on the end screen that should be on screen now. Once again, really hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more of this like e-waste and repair cheap computer stuff, let me know. Or if you want to see something else about tech, let me know. Comment some good suggestions for what I could use a machine like this for, e.g. like a NAS or some sort of web server. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.